Book 2 of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras is entitled Sadhana, or practice or discipline. And the first sutra of Book 2 tells us what this discipline is. It does it in one sutra, in one line. And I explored that in video number 28. The practice of yoga consists of non-indulgence, self-inquiry, and directing the attention to the supreme identity. Straightforward enough, but a substantial part of Book 2, about a fifth in fact, is devoted to the kleshas, which I've translated here in common with many others as afflictions, although in Buddhist contexts it's sometimes translated as the poisons. The poisons. They are what poison our samadhi. They are what poison our realization. And these poisons are listed in Sutra number 3. These painful afflictions, these poisons, come about through ignorance, a sense of separate selfhood, and attachment and aversion, which reinforce this sense of separate selfhood. And Sutra number 4 highlights the prominence given to ignorance. And it also gives us some hope, because these poisons can be overcome. Their grip can be undermined. We can put them to sleep so that they have no hold on us whatsoever. And given the importance of ignorance, the fundamental importance of ignorance, Sutra 5 is devoted to it. Ignorance is cognizing the impermanent as permanent, taking what is painful as pleasant, the not self as the self. There's a lot here. But before looking into it, let's just orient ourselves with respect to yoga practice. What is yoga practice about? We might have a good idea about what it's about, but within the context of this commentary, it's about what we think we are, or who we think we are. It's about what we think the world is, what's the nature of the world, and it's about the relationship between me and the world. That is the situation which we need to address. This is the situation which we need to look into. There are many teachers who've got tremendous insight, but who seem to subscribe to a basic misunderstanding, which most of us subscribe to. It's a misunderstanding which is tied in with these poisons. A sense of separate selfhood. Do we think we are separate from the world? Are we maintaining our identity in respect to that world? Is that where a lot of our effort is directed? Perhaps we're a practicing yogi. We might even be a yoga teacher. This is our identity with relation to the world. This is as much a poison as being a banker, or being unemployed, or being a mother or a father or a child, or anything. That is part of the poison of separate selfhood. So this is what we have to look at. When we're not in samadhi, we need to examine why we're not in samadhi. And the reason we're not in samadhi is because of these poisons, these afflictions, these kleshas. And these poisons are very much dependent on who we think we are, what we think the world is, and what our relationship with the world is. And Sutra number 5 is very much about this. It's addressing the nature of the world and our relationship with it. And there are three terms here which are very, very important, translated here as what is impermanent, what is painful, and what is not self. We could also translate this as having no substance, no inherent substance. These three terms are worth becoming very familiar with. Impermanent is Anitya, painful is duhkha, and the not self is anatman. The Buddhists call these lakshana. These are the characteristics or marks of existence. They're the nature of the world, basically, and I think I'll devote a separate video to them.